Right now, your company is silently bleeding money, thousands, possibly millions, because of a hidden dangerous debt you're probably not even tracking. It's not financial debt, but it's just as destructive, and it's called motivational debt. Hey, I'm Roman Rackwitz, CEO of Engaging Lab, founder of the non-Skinnerian gamification school of thought and the Drive method. Motivational debt is the hidden cost your organization accumulates when short-term financial incentives, pressures, or poor cultural practices start eating away at your employees' intrinsic motivation, their internal drive to innovate, solve problems, and push your company forward. Think of it exactly like a financial debt. Initially, it seems manageable, even beneficial. But over time, the interest compounds, creating disengagement, burnout, turnover, and a devastating drop in your overall performance. To better understand this, let's use Martin Fowler's renowned debt matrix. Imagine two axes, reckless versus prudent, and deliberate versus inadvertent. Let's walk through each category clearly. So first we have reckless and deliberate. These are aggressive financial incentives like short-term bonuses tied to stressful, unrealistic goals. Leaders do this knowing full well they are sacrificing long-term engagement for immediate profit. It's like maxing out a credit card without planning how you will pay it back. So here we are talking about financial, or very often we are talking about financial incentives. And often also for really unrealistic goals. Okay, so on the other side we have prudent and deliberate. This happens when companies introduce temporary external rewards strategically with a clear plan to shift back towards intrinsic motivators like purpose, autonomy, mastery, curiosity, and so on. It's like taking a calculated loan for growth with a clear payoff plan. So here we are talking often about external rewards. As an example. I mean, there are countless different possibilities to do this. So then we have reckless and inadvertent. Companies here accidentally create motivational debt through toxic cultures that reward overtime, crisis management, and firefighting behaviors without realizing they are actually penalizing thoughtful planning and innovation. It's accumulating high-interest debt without even realizing it. So here we are talking about something like, for example, toxic cultures. So then we have prudent and inadvertent. Even well-intentioned leaders can unintentionally introduce motivational debt by, for instance, implementing productivity tools that inadvertently micromanage or undermine employee autonomy and mastery. It's like signing a loan agreement without fully reading the fine print. So here we are talking about examples like productivity tools. So it's crucial to recognize the difference here. Reckless motivational debt must always be avoided. So here we are talking about this whole side. Okay? It carries steep costs with little to no benefit. On the other hand, prudent motivational debt can occasionally be necessary. So this is this side. Sometimes you must temporarily sacrifice intrinsic motivators to drive fast action, respond swiftly to market changes, or achieve critical short-term goals. The key is making informed decisions, knowing precisely how you will repay this debt by reintegrating intrinsic motivators in a planned, structured recovery phase. So why should you care right now? Motivational debt isn't just a theoretical problem. It's a practical business issue with immediate financial implications. Your employee turnover increases, raising recruitment and onboarding costs. Innovation stagnates because burned-out teams don't experiment or challenge the status quo. Ultimately, your EBIT suffers substantially. often before leaderships recognizes the cause. If you're not monitoring motivational debt with the same rigor as your financial metrics, you're ignoring a ticking time bomb that threatens your profitability and competitive edge. The good news is, motivational debt can be managed, mitigated, and even prevented. If you want the exact framework for identifying and eliminating motivational debt, securing lasting growth and sustainable intrinsic performance, subscribe to this channel now and send me a direct message for your diagnostic assessment. Stop losing money you didn't know you were losing. It's time to pay off your motivational debt.